Hello, my name is Tony Luna, and this is my very own race car design project. This is the challenge that was given to us at the beginning of the project, to design a race car with the best effort using the research found to win a race tournament. The criteria given was to be within the dimensions of a 2 by 2.75 by 7.875 ABS plastic. Axle holes needed to be 0.17 inch diameters, and a 0.75 inch diameter countersink hole for the tank needed to be in the vehicle as well. The body was the only part that was custom. Everything else was provided and given to us. 2 front small wheels, 2 big back wheels, 1 CO2 tank, 2 axles, and 2 eye hooks. Mainly the parts are given to us to measure and make sure that they would be snug and aligned within our final design. As soon as the project was listed, the first thing that came to my mind was Formula 1, so I decided to take inspiration from that research and to what I could find. I knew I needed to make a car that could increase laminar flow and decrease turbulent flow. In 1978, Lotus designer realized that they could increase performance more by extending the side pipe into a long board between the front and the back wheel. Since I specifically looked into Formula 1 cars to find the best design ideas, and this is the most modern body style of cars used today, and ended up being the best. The one on the left is my sketch of an old style body. The one on the right is my sketch of a newer style body. Eventually I went with the newer style because it was just more significantly superior from the research that I found to be faster. At first, this was my first choice of the body style that I went with. It was blocky and the tank was round. But once I was introduced to the wind tunnel flow design and tested it out, I soon realized that I had some issues with my design. The coefficient was too high for me, and I saw some bright red in front of the round tank, and I knew I had to make some changes. In design number 2, I thought it would be a good idea to make the tank come to a point to reduce some wind, but there was still too much red in the front of it. So I went with design number 3. Which I rounded out the point, and it did create less red in the simulation. Then I noticed maybe I could extend the tank by making it longer, and I would therefore reduce less drag. In doing so, I came up with design number 4, making the tank longer, sonic boom inspiration. If you ever seen the Doppler effect, that's what I went with, and it really did not create much of a change in the drag coefficient. I needed some more blue and green because that showed signs of a laminar flow. That's when I went with design number 5, which is also my final design. Drag coefficient was 0.24. Rounded out the side of the edges and kind of formed like a duckbill. And I ended up seeing significantly more green and blue than red and yellow. So I sent this to be produced and made. Here's a detailed drawing of all the dimensions of my vehicle, along with its parts and wheels, and a nice picture perfect of the color I wanted to go with in a rendering. Production, once it started, the first layer of the structural support for the 3D printing. Once my car was fully printed, I decided to sand it down with 80 and 180 grit paper to try to make the surface of it smoother. And when I found a texture that I was comfortable with, I decided to prime it and paint it. I added 3 coats of primer, 5 coats of paint, and 3 coats of clear coat. Once the paint was dry, I assembled it, added the axles, put in the wheels, and made sure that the front of the bumper didn't grind down on the floor. Made sure it moved smooth and light, and I was quite pleased with it. The total weight of the vehicle ended up being 255.4 grams. A little light as against the other competitors, my classmates. My own design actually ended up being better than I thought. I tried to make sure that my vehicle was the fastest, more aerodynamic car, and it made me get to the top 2 position. Versus Eric, Ryan, and Jake, my vehicle did win slightly faster by 1, 2 seconds, 3 seconds with Eric. We'll go up to the videos in a little bit, and then a photo on the right is the championship round between me and Aaron Schroba. Here are the videos. The video on the left would be me versus Ryan Elliott. Notice my car did swerve a lot. That was just happened. I figured out that was towards the weight reduction. There's much more weight in the back than there was to the front. The next video was between me and Jay Koza. Again, it did swerve, but it didn't win the race. Notice that my car would be 1, 2 seconds in front of Jake's and Ryan's. Fortunately, I don't have a video of me versus Eric Kreimeyer's car, which is the very first race. My phone wasn't ready for to record the takeoff. But this is the final race between me and Aaron. Notice how much faster his car was than my car was between Eric and Jake's. Superiorly faster. And that finishes my presentation. Thank you.